Imagine an island nation so grand that it ruled the seas, boasted vast riches, and built cities with concentric rings of water and land. Then, in a single night of calamity, it vanished beneath the waves, yet the story never died. Welcome to the legend of Atlantis, a myth that refuses to be forgotten, a story that continues to haunt our collective imagination. Today we dive into the question, did Atlantis ever exist? Or is it a cautionary tale dressed in the clothing of history? The earliest and most detailed account of Atlantis comes not from archaeologists, but from the great Greek philosopher Plato. In his dialogues, Timaeus and Critias, written around 360 BCE, he relays a tale of an island beyond the Pillars of Hercules, the modern Strait of Gibraltar, that existed some 9,000 years before his day. In his narrative, Plato describes how a man named Solon traveled to Egypt and heard from Egyptian priests of this mighty island empire. He then passes the story down to his family, and eventually it becomes the basis for these two dialogues. But here's a key point. Scholars note that despite its richness of detail, Plato's account stands alone. There are no independent, contemporaneous records of Atlantis as a real civilization. So, what did Plato intend? A lost civilization or an allegory? In Plato's description, Atlantis was no ordinary island. It was vast. He claims it was bigger than Libya and Asia Minor combined. The Atlanteans were descended from the sea god Poseidon, who divided the land among 10 sons. The central island, the capital, was ringed by water and land in alternating circles, linked by bridges and tunnels. They lived in prosperity. He even mentions aurichalcum, a strange metal second only to gold. Their agriculture, engineering, harbors, and irrigation systems were described as extraordinary. Their fleets controlled the seas, and their fame spread. For a time, they were a model of order and civilization. But according to Plato, the seed of their downfall was already planted. Power, riches, and ambition changed Atlantis. Plato writes that as the Atlanteans grew mighty, they became proud, greedy, and corrupt. Their moral compass faltered. The gods watched and judged. And then came the judgment. During a single day and night of misfortune, the island of Atlantis sank beneath the sea, Plato's own words. Earthquakes, floods, the tides of fate, the mighty empire disappeared. A warning carved in myth. Remarkably, although the island was lost, the story remained. The sea in that region, Plato says, became impossible to navigate because of a mud shoal left behind. Over the centuries, countless explorers, writers, and theorists have tried to pin down the location of Atlantis. The theories are as varied as they are imaginative. Some place it in the mid-Atlantic, just beyond Gibraltar, following Plato's own hint. Others suggest the Mediterranean. A classic twist? Could it have been the island of Thera, modern Santorini, where a massive volcanic eruption around 1600 BCE devastated the Minoan civilization? This event has been linked by some as a possible inspiration for Atlantis' destruction. Yet other proposals take the myth to Antarctica or even to the depths of pseudo-archaeology. The core question remains, real place or poetic symbol? Whether Atlantis existed in fact is one debate, but in myth and culture it never died. Across centuries, the legend of Atlantis has been recycled, reimagined, and infused into countless stories of lost worlds, advanced ancient civilizations, and aquatic cataclysms. In the 19th century, for example, Ignatius L. Donnelly argued that Atlantis was real and the common origin of all ancient civilizations. His book, Atlantis, the Antediluvian World, became a cornerstone for those who believed in lost ancient advanced societies. Modern scholars, however, tend to treat the story as symbolic, an allegory used by Plato to illustrate hubris, corruption, and the dangers of imperial ambition. So, could this be the story of a real society that fell to nature's wrath? Or was it a philosophical metaphor painted in grand mythic strokes by Plato? The beauty of the legend lies in its ambiguity. So, why does Atlantis still fascinate us? Why does the idea of a city that sank but never died endure in our minds? Because it taps into a deep longing for lost worlds, hidden treasures, forgotten histories. Because it warns, even the mightiest can fall when virtue is abandoned. Because it challenges, if we found an island sinking today, would we see echoes of Atlantis in ourselves? As one writer put it, no other myth in history ever reached the global fame that Atlantis has gained. And for your channel, focused on mysteries, unknown history, supernatural events, and mythology, Atlantis offers the perfect blend. Half legend, half mystery, all story. As we drift away from the shores of Atlantis, for now, remember this: whether or not the island ever existed, its story persists. It speaks to grand ambitions, the fragility of civilization, and the enigma of what lies beneath the sea. Here's what you can do next. Dive deeper. Research the eruption of Thera. Explore sonar scans of the Atlantic or Mediterranean sea floor. Think about why a civilization might be punished by myth for hubris. If you enjoyed this voyage into the submerged world of Atlantis, hit subscribe and ring the bell, because more mysteries just like this await. And if you've got a theory of your own, where Atlantis might be or what it really means, drop it in the comments below. Until next time, keep your mind open, the lights low, and your curiosity on high. The seas still hold secrets, and so do the myths. Thanks for watching.